Skin the Heart Away Southern T. Back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all jab that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, if y'all could, do your boy a solid. Jab that like button for your boy when you roll on in. I don't know if it's your first time, but if you could, do your boy a favor and not make it your last time. You know what I mean? Subscribe to the channel as well. If you ain't subscribed to the channel, you know what I mean? 13 people in the building. Let me say what's up to everybody in the building. You know what I mean? What's good, A17? Appreciate you sliding through this, John King. Shout out to my guy, Ray Buck. What's good, Ray? Shout out to the beautiful Jazz. Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Queen. What's good, Skywalker? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. Shout out my guy, Josh Sanders. What's good, Josh? Appreciate you sliding through. What's good, Tay? TW10. But let me drop the flames for y'all, my bad. What's good, Tay? Queen? Appreciate you sliding through. A1 Hoops on. What's good, Pimp? Appreciate you sliding through this, John. TW10 in the building. Skywalker Boxing. TW10 in the building. Josh Sanders 86. What's good, family? TW10 in the building. I'm not sure if I dropped it for Skywalker, but just in case I didn't, what's good, Tim, my brother Tim? Appreciate you sliding through this, John family. TW10 in the building. What's good, God body? Appreciate you sliding through this thing. You know what's going on. Fire that shit up, God body. But yeah, man, we here for a point. I mean, we here for a reason today, right? We are gathered here today. Nah, but for real though, yeah, we here for a reason today, right? Now earlier, you know what I mean, the news broke. Regis broke this news himself. You know what I mean? We ain't have to get this from sources. We ain't have to get this from nobody else. This came straight from the horse's mouth. It came straight from the horse's mouth in plain sight too. You know what I mean? So earlier we had discovered that Regis Prograis wasn't paid for his fight this Saturday, you know what I mean, in California, right? That was the first news, that broke. Why he didn't get paid, nobody knows, but Regis Prograis said himself that he cashed his check in Los Angeles Monday, and they sent him an email today and said that he had insufficient funds in his check, that his check had bounced, right? So I put that certainty out earlier. Also, what I come to find out is since then, right, that fellow fighter Charles Conwell, I got Charles Conwell, featured in this picture. I got that Probellum sign. I got Regis Prograis at the top, and then I got Charles Conwell at the bottom, right? The fighter you see at the bottom right in that bottom right block is Charles Conwell. Charles Conwell also did not receive his money for the fight Saturday. Charles Conwell had, I think, maybe the best fight on that card that night, right? With Abreu. Not sure if y'all got a chance to peek that Charles Conwell card in Abreu, but Charles Conwell, you know what I mean, had the second best fight on that card. What's good, Tay? Appreciate you sliding through. Charles Conwell had the second best fight on that card. You know what I mean? If you asking me, he went through a war. Black eye, busted lip, busted nose. You know what I mean? He had to, he had to dig down for that win. Him and Abreu went life and death. By the term we like to call life and death in the boxing world. Him and Abreu went life and death. You know what I mean? So, news broke. The Regis Prograis broke his own news. You know what I mean? I had to do, a little homework. I had to ask around. You know what I mean? And I found out that everybody else on the card got paid, right? Everybody else on the card got paid. And this is why, I chose Regis and I chose Conwell. And that got me the thinking, right? That got me thinking, right? So everybody else on the card did get paid, so that's good because I was worried about, everybody, checks. If Regis didn't get paid, the main event didn't get paid, then Zepeda didn't get paid, and all the undercards didn't get paid, right? But come to find out that Marv Nation, right? Marv Nation is who put this fight on. we had a Southern Tea earlier, where I did a Southern Tea earlier, about him not getting paid, and we put, a lot of the blame, on Marv Nation. Well, at least, we put some question on Marv Nation, right? You know what I mean? But comes to find out that everyone else on the card did get paid. Marv Nation did their part, right? And they cut checks to the people that needed to be cut to. Now, the similarity in what happened here, right, with Regis and with Charles Conwell brings me to this EP. Regis and Charles Conwell both are signed with, Probellum. Now, Probellum doesn't have a network, but Probellum, is basically they're like a finance agency, right? They are signed. They're in more than just boxing, right? But they got a stable of boxers, you know what I mean? And they sign boxers and they help boxers get fights. That's what they do. They help boxers get matches, right? Now it's documented. It's been rumored that Probellum. It's been rumored, right, that Probellum is an affiliate of MTK Global. MTK Global is a former boxing outlet, a former boxing advisory company, right? Who came out about 4 years ago, and they shut down last year. They shut down because they were under investigation for foul play, money laundering, and being tied up with this guy named Daniel Killahan, right? So MTK Global had to, shut down operations because of the investigation going on about foul play involved with their company. Now, whether you believe this, or not, right? There is rumor, right? Well, this isn't the rumor, right? If you look at the roster of the MTK Global roster, 85-90% of their fighters all shifted over to Probellum, right? So when that happened, when most of the MTK fighters shifted over to Probellum, you know what I mean? That started the rumors, and that started, the question. That started to raise eyebrows, about MTK Global and Probellum being affiliated. You know what I mean? What's good, Skywalker? Appreciate you sliding through. He said, when you let me, them treat, right? Always looking out for them. Maybe with the company, COVID could change the Probellum. Maybe it'll get handled in a few days. Skywalker said, right, there could be an issue too. Yeah, we finna talk about it, Skywalker. Greatly appreciate you sliding through this thing, Skywalker. We finna talk about it. I'm finna get you right, Skywalker. I'm finna get you right. You know what I mean? So Mark Nation, did their part. Everybody got paid, except for the Probellum fighters. Now there's rumors and questions that Probellum is involved, with Daniel Killahan, the same people that MTK Global was involved with, right? What's good, A17? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, A17. Glad you could make it, Pip. Glad you could make it. If y'all could smash that like button for your boy, whether you're here for a good time or a long time. If it's your first time, could you not make it your last time? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, right? So that's the rumor, right? Probellum and MTK Global, are one and the same. Now, of course, Probellum denies this, they vehemently deny this, right? They denied every chance they get. They even, said they will sue anybody, who tries to slander their name or question, you know what I mean? um, their involvement with MTK Global, right? So for now, right, we'll just call this a rumor, right? We will say that this is a rumor, that they're not involved with MTK Global and they are their own entity, which they've been performing on for about, 10 months or so, right? I was one of the first people, on the Probellum, train, let people know, because, I like the upstart companies, especially the ones, who sign fighters, that I like. We talking about a fighter in Regis Prograis and Charles Conwell, right? So my thing is MTK, right? They had to go under, they had to shut down. They got their assets frozen because they were thought to be, involved with Daniel Killahan, who is a worldwide criminal, right? His fighters, a lot of his fighters, actually all of his fighters, right? There's been a lot going on with, with the MTK fighters, Josh Taylor, you know what I mean? Being one, Josh Taylor, Zach Catterall, Tyson Fury, a lot of those MTK fighters, white fighters that we are known to be MTK, right? We don't got to speculate about those fighters. Known MTK fighters, even JoJo Diaz, right? A lot of those fighters have been involved, with court issues. Now JoJo Diaz is still in court working out, his, situation with MTK, right? But he's allowed to fight in America because he was directly involved, with MTK. But his case is coming from somebody suing him for leaving him to go to MTK, right? That's where his came from. But once MTK fell under, JoJo was free to be able to do what he wanted to do, right? But you see Tyson Fury and you see guys like Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor still hasn't had a fight. You know what I mean? Since his last Jack Catterall fight, and when he split from MTK Global, not Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor had to come out on record, right? And let it be known that he's no longer involved with MTK Global because, word got around that they was going to be doing a global, lockdown and clampdown on Daniel Killehan, right? These are facts. You could Google it, a real, government investigation is out on Daniel Killehan. They're trying to weed out and figure out every single Daniel Killehan associate. They're trying to figure out exactly where the money is being, washed, where the money is being, embezzled. They trying to figure out exactly where, Daniel Killehan's assets are being put out to. So they're freezing all the assets who are even in question of being involved with Daniel Killehan, which is how MTK Global got, shut down in the first place. Now, what I was saying was we can see this with our own eyes, right? Right. A lot of the MTK Global fighters are now Probellum fighters, right? So that was the first red flag, which led people to believe that they were one and the same, right? So not only, are most of the MTK Global fighters now fighting on Probellum, right? Now you got this situation where you got two Probellum fighters on this Marv Nations card. It's been proven that Marv Nation did, their job because the rest of the fighters got paid. It came out now that Jose Zepeda has been paid. I seen one of the fighters on the undercard myself, personally tweet out that, oh yeah, his issue been fixed and that he's been paid. You know what I mean? That they're the only fighters who haven't gotten, their money, who hadn't gotten their checks from this fight are the Probellum fighters. You know what I mean? And me personally, I know some people may or may not, right? But I personally don't think that it's a coincidence that the Probellum fighters are the only fighters that don't, got their money. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but I just told y'all, right? When when the government, because America is now cracking down on this as well. As quiet as kept, Top Rank is under investigation as well for working with Daniel Killehan, admittedly, openly working with Daniel Killehan. Top Rank is under investigation as well for working with Tyson Fury for a number of fights, Las Vegas fights, being the three fights, the Deontay Wilder, the Deontay Wilder fight, and the Tim Schwartz fight. All the fights that were surrounded, not the first Deontay Wilder fight, the Tim Schwartz fight, the other fight he had in between there. Otto Wilding, Tim Schwartz, and Deontay Wilder 2 are the fights under investigation from Top Rank right now. So Top Rank is under investigation as well. You know what I mean? So everybody who's ever done business or been an affiliate with Daniel Killehan is under investigation. They need answers right now. You know what I mean? And let me bring it back to this right now, right? I'm gonna correlate this for a second. Let me bring it back to here, right? Why is it that it seems like that only the Probellum fighters haven't been paid? Now I can't say that they is or that they ain't, but what I can do is tell you that everybody else has been paid. And when you've been storied and rumored to be working with Daniel Killehan, right, and then all of a sudden, your funds come up insufficient in America and you can't pay a fighter out. You hear what I'm saying? So it's something to that. I have never personally, right, heard of a fighter not being paid, especially a fight with such, with fighter with such a fight of this magnitude, a championship level fight. And I think, right, this Marv Nation was kind of the test run. Was the American test run, right? Because if we know how purse bids work, and if we don't, right, I'm gonna let you know right now. If how this purse bid went, this particular purse bid, right, this particular purse bid, PBC was the second runner up in this purse bid, right? PBC was number one, and then most people thought PBC was getting this fight, and then out of nowhere, left field, we had this unknown, you know what I mean, entity come in, and they ended up buying this Jose Zepeda and Regis Prograis fight. If I'm not mistaken, PBC bid 2.5 million on this fight, and then Marv Nation came in and bid it 4.5, or it was like 1.5, and then Marv Nation bid it 3.5, or it was something like that. But Marv Nation, you know, this company that nobody had ever heard of, came in, they went high, and they swooped this fight, you know what I mean, away from the PBC, right? But it doesn't. He's a cooperating. Yeah, in fact, everybody's cooperating. You know what I mean? Because this is a real thing. Like, this Fed case is not a joke. You get what I'm saying? If you really pay attention, you know it's a real thing. Josh Taylor still hasn't had a fight yet. Tyson Fury can't fight in America. The only company, right, who's rumored to be working and affiliated with Daniel Killingham now can't pay Charles Conwell and Regis Prograis in America. Now, these aren't Regis Prograis. This isn't Regis Prograis' first fight with Probellum. This is Regis Prograis' first fight with Probellum in America, though. You get what I'm saying? He fought the other guy, McKenna. He fought McKenna, right? But he fought McKenna on the overseas card. You get what I'm saying? I think this was the trial run for them to try to see, you know what I mean, are they on the list? I think Probellum, is now on that list, you know, that ban list, that American ban list. I don't think Probellum is going to be able to do any business with fighters in America anymore. They could sign fighters from America, but I'm thinking now they got to go over there to America because, right, me personally, I'm feeling like Probellum has been identified as a partner of Daniel Killian, or has been identified as somebody who may have, you know, did some kind of business with Daniel Killian. Now, whether it's good or bad business, right? Has yet to be seen because, you know, they ain't started, you know, taking people to jail. But if they identified that you may have, you know, even started your business, even if your business was legit and he helped you with your business, right? Because that's how business work, and that's how these laws work. Even if your business was legit, if you did everything right on your side and your end, if this guy invested in your business with his money and his money is dirty, and they find out that his money is dirty, they close your assets too. Now, they may not necessarily clink you because you probably, you know, it's a chance that you didn't know what was going on or who he was or what he had going on or he even had anything to do with the way that he got his money. But the fact remains that he used his money, which is dirty money, blood money, to help fund your company. So your company is going to have to suffer for that. Everything that you did with the money that he gave you, you know, that wasn't his money. That was money made illegally, and that boy ass is being seized. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a coincidence. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a coincidence that the only people who hadn't been paid from this fight just yet is Charles Conwell and Regis Prograis. You know what I mean? The two Probellum fighters. The only two fighters who signed to the promotional company who's been questioned to be linked to Daniel Killian. You know what I mean? Them fighters, you know, not being able to come back over here, you know, them not being, them freezing assets, you know what I mean? Like this, you know, that's a real thing. Daniel Killian, this isn't the first time Daniel Killian had his assets, you know what I mean, frozen. He just got his assets unfrozen about 5 years ago. You know what I mean? And now they back on his trail hot for the same thing. And now I'm not saying that Richard Schaefer or Probellum has anything to do with the foul play or anything like that, right? But the company in itself may have been funded or may have been started off of, you know, foul play or dirty money. You get what I mean? So if that is the case, then the company can't be. You know what I mean? So if Probellum in any way is connected to, you know what I mean, DK or Schaefer, or DK or MTK, you know what I mean, like that, there's no way, that if this company is connected to MTK or, DK, there's no way that, this company can have fighters. They could have fighters from America, but they can't have fights in America because shit, the money not go get cleared because it's a seize on all. It's a seize on everything and anything linked to Daniel Callahan. That's why I think that money got seized. Is what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? I hope I'm making that clear. It's a seize on Daniel Callahan and everything that he got going. Yes, Probellum has had fights before, but all of their fights have been overseas. These are the first fights that they've had in America. These are the first two fighters that Probellum have had fight in America. Since this whole thing, Regis Prograis had been fighting with them, but he's been fighting overseas. You know what I mean? He's at this shit wild. You even got Cambosis' manager and trainer suing him. You know what I mean? I did, but I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. You know what I mean? It's NBA night. The game's getting ready to come on. I got bets on the way. I just wanted to come in here, drop this tad bit on y'all real quick and bring, a little light, a little attention, to this situation. Chris Conwell hasn't been paid either. Regis Prograis hasn't been paid. Everybody else on the card has been paid. Only the two Probellum fighters haven't been paid. And Probellum has been rumored and linked to Daniel Callahan for the longest. And I don't think it's on accident. I don't think it's by mistake that those two Probellum guys haven't been paid. Regis Prograis, and I'm not linking Regis Prograis or Charles Conwell to this by any way. All they did was sign, to Probellum to make fights. They show up to the fights, they go there and they make them. They not involved in anything, but they are part of the cover-up unknowingly. But Probellum and the whole boxing thing as a whole is just part of one big cover-up, and it's starting to uncover itself. You know what I mean? But that's all I got. Skin Hardaway, Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But he said if I was Regis, we would be having a conversation. And not a good one. You know what I mean? I got 19 people in the building right now. Can I get y'all to smash that like button for your boy? I ain't gonna hold y'all up too long, you know what I mean? Because I'm about to start. You know what I mean? My cheese. Yeah, no, it's not Marv Nation. Marv Nation paid everybody. Marv Nation paid everybody. Only the two Probellum fighters didn't get paid. Marv Nation issued their money. Everybody else checked cash. The pay to check cash. The undercard check cash. The only people check who didn't cash is Regis Prograis and Charles Conwell, the two Probellum fighters. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. Y'all can catch me on the chill stream, the basketball set, the basketball junk, and we can still talk about it if y'all want to know. You know what I mean? I run it back. We can explain it there, but I want to keep this video kind of short. You know what I mean? So I greatly appreciate y'all coming through. 19 people in the building. Y'all jab that thumbs up for your boy. Greatly appreciate you. It's getting the Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but just the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.